so very quickly, this is the book that I'm using. I will leave a link to where you can purchase this on Amazon. If you have any questions, let me know. It's an excellent reader, a 3-tiered reader that my students are currently using. Salve! We are on Lucan's Pharsalia, Book 6, lines 417 to 420. If you have or are planning to purchase the bundle that comes along with this, it includes lines 413 through 416 as well. So let's go ahead and start. De generes trepidant animi peora queversant, adubios pauci praesumpto robo recassus, spemque metumque ferunt. Turbae sed mixtus inerti sextus erat, magno proles indigna parente. A little chanty, getting better. Previously, we had heard that the Romans were putting down camps, and as they did this, because of the area they're in, their minds started focusing on the prophecies that they had heard about the place and about the impending war. So here we have our third plural verb, versant, which tells us that our subject must be plural, and then this here is a plural that modifies the subject, and trepidant is also our third plural verb. The verb trepidant and the verb versant both take the subject de generis animi. Okay. De generis is our plural nominative adjective that modifies animi, our plural masculine nominative noun. So that tells us de generis is masculine as well. So this is degenerate minds. Trepidant, they tremble in the present. Que, from peoraque. So degenerate minds tremble, and they, versant, they turn towards peora. You could also say they become peora. I use turn towards because before the mind was turning towards thinking about the prophecy. So here it's the same thing. They're turning towards peora, worse things. Peora is your comparative, and it's a plural neuter accusative, the object of versant. So you can have it modify things, worse things. Degenerate minds tremble and turn towards worse things. Adubios pauci praesumpto robore casus, spemque metumque ferunt. So pauci is going to be our subject of this clause, and our main verb would be ferunt. So pauci, few what? Well, it's still working with animi. These both modify animi. So a few minds, ferunt, bear or carry. What do they carry? Well, here we've got spemque metumque, so both hope and fear as our direct object. The double que makes it both and. So a few minds carry or bear both hope and fear. These minds are modified here by an ablative phrase. Robores in the ablative. Praesumpto is your singular neuter ablative perfect passive participle. So with strength, robore, having been assumed or taken up, so you could just say a few minds strengthened and let it go at that, or with strength having been assumed, if you want to be technical. So a few minds strengthened against precarious fall, ad dubios casus. Now those are, dubios casus are the object of ad. You don't need to go any further than that, other than knowing that they're plural masculine accusative. So from the beginning, degenerate minds tremble and turn towards worse things. A few minds strengthened against precarious fall bear both hope and fear. And then our next clause we have said, so that just tells you but, so we're going to talk about something else here, but, and we're going to look for our subject and our verb. Erat is very easy to pull out. That's really the only verb down here. Erat. And our subject is just going to simply be sextus. And it's right next to sextus. This is going to tell us more about him. These proles, indigna. These are singular feminine nominatives. Proles is a feminine noun, and then indigna modifies that in the feminine, and that means unworthy son. So Lucan puts something describing Sextus in the feminine, and in other situations you'll see that he kind of degrades Sextus in this same way. So, but Sextus, unworthy son, and then we have in the ablative parente magno. Now magno pretty much just means Pompey Magnus. Pompey Magnus. Pompey the Great. And parente, that ablative designation that we're talking about, his father, sitting in apposition to magno for clarification. So Sextus, but Sextus, unworthy son of Pompey the Great, was mixtus. Okay, mixtus is also singular, masculine, nominative, but it is from the verb, and it has the perfect passive ending. So you've got singular, masculine, perfect passive participle. So we're going to also give that a squiggly underline. So yes, it modifies modifies Sextus. Okay, Sextus was, but Sextus, unworthy son of Pompey the Great, was mixed up. Mixtus, miskeo means mixed, mixed up. This verb, miskeo, just like jungo, often takes an ablative of accompaniment. It can also take instead a dative. Okay, so in this case we have turbae inerti, which is going to be the dative, singular feminine dative with miskeo. So usually it's later poetical authors who use the dative, and Lucan is a little bit of a later author. So we have But Sextus, unworthy son of Pompey the Great, was mixed up in this lazy crowd, or inerti, indolent, sluggish, weak, inactive, this whatever, indolent crowd. So he's mixed up in a group of miscreants, I guess. So from the beginning, degenerate minds tremble and turn toward worse things. A few of the minds, having been strengthened here, this against dubious fall. I think we had a different word for dubious, a precarious fall. They bear both hope and fear. But Sextus, unworthy son of Pompey the Great, is mixed up in this unworthy, or this sluggish crowd, indolent crowd. So if you have any questions about this section, just let me know. Now, we know that in reality, Sextus Pompey was too young to have been a part of this battle, and he was actually back in Lesbos with his stepmother. Wasn't anywhere near Thessaly in these battles and things going on here. So Lucan is kind of making some stuff up and mixing it into what he's calling his history of Pharsalia. Alright, that's it for now. Wale!